Tell your friends to get with my friends. We could be friends. Shit, we could do this every weekend. That's right. Alright? Is that alright with you? Yeah. Keep banging.
Yo, y'all know we had to start today's show off with my favorite meme. Thanks for tuning in to The Source, your source for celebrity news. Check this out. As of 2024, Michael Jackson's estate is estimated to be worth a staggering $2 billion. However, the IRS has put a stop to the checks that Michael's mom, Catherine, and his 3 kids are going to get because they say that Michael's estate owes the government $700 million in overdue taxes and penalties. According to sources, the IRS undervalued Michael's assets when they audited his estate in 2021, and now they're cutting off the kids' inheritance to ensure that the government gets its money. Alright, so after the IRS said that Michael Jackson's estate owes them an additional $700 million, Catherine and the estate successfully challenged the assessment, but the IRS has submitted new paperwork for reconsideration over the court's determination of the worth of Michael Jackson's song collection, which Sony owns. Now, since the valuation of Michael's estate is in question, lawyers representing Catherine and the kids have requested that part of Michael Jackson's assets be kept subject to administration or set aside to ensure that they're eventually transferred to the Michael Jackson Family Trust as the legal proceedings are being conducted. Alright, so here's my questions. 1, who in the heck is the accountant for Michael Jackson's estate? And 2, how in the world is the IRS going to charge Michael's estate extra fees for a mistake that they allegedly made? And on top of that, how in the world do you make a $700 million mistake? I mean, $70 is a mistake. $70,000 is a mistake. And in Michael's case, maybe even $700,000. But $700 million? Yo, that auditor for the IRS needs to be fired. Now, check this out. Cardi B and Bia have picked up where Kendrick Lamar and Drake left off because these two have been going back and forth and dissing each other all week. In her verse on a remix to Glorilla and Megan Thee Stallion's Wannabe, Cardi B dissed Bia when she said,
"Guess I'm a teacher since she wanna sub me. She did what, had no idea. Thought she was on the shelf like Kia. I'm stoked like that when I see her. Bitch, please, don't nobody wanna be her."
Yo, did this chick just rhyme Bia with IKEA? Okay, that's it. We gotta have a meeting. I'm gonna need for all of Cardi's ghostwriters to meet me in the office at like 3 p.m. We gotta talk. We gotta have a serious discussion. And trust me, somebody might be getting fired. Anyhow, after Cardi B said that, Bia jumped online and posted a video of a battle rapper dropping a whack bar with a caption that read, "Biatches is whack. Biatches is trash. I should hang biatches right over my knee the way I be putting my belt to they ASS." Source, can we please also see the video that went along with that caption?
Crazy how you crashed out. I should have knew it was something when she wouldn't let y'all do her makeup and get her wig combed out.
Yo, when you drop a line that you think is hot and the whole room is like, what? That's when you know mission failed. Anyhow, Cardi B jumped back online to address Bia, and this is what she had to say.
In it. Now you addressing me. So when you address me and it's not a sub, I'm gonna address you. So I got her number. And I called her, right? I called her and I recorded it because you just never know with these hoes. I recorded it, and I'm not even gonna lie. The conversation started very nasty. It started very nasty, very aggressive. I was coming at her and she was coming at me. But then I called her back because, and look, I ain't lying. I got the whole conversation. I could put the whole 35 minutes up. Like, I have the whole conversation.
Because you saying that I'm copying you. And also, this is my thing though, right?
Yeah.
No, this is
the conversation started real nasty, right? It started real nasty. And then I called her back because I'm so appalled at the fact that she thinks that I'm copying her song. Like, what? I been did it before you put it out. And then enough where she thinks that I copy her ad-libs and whatever the fuck, something with the beat. It's like, girl, this is the day that I called her, and we ended up the conversation on a very great note. So I sent her, I don't know if y'all see this, the date is April 14, 2022. This is when I first received the beat for Enough, right? And I sent it to her. So this when I first received the beat for Enough, and this is when I first recorded. Don't make fun of me, y'all. I sounded chop. I was putting I recorded Enough on May 18, 2022. I want y'all to see the date. I recorded Enough May 18. The first time I ever put my vocals, May 18, 2022. Okay. So, you know, I really wanted to prove to her that, like, yo, I never copied you. I never anything. So, you know, on that conversation, we ended up very well. She told me, like, what was her issues with me? And I told her, like, well, I never really have an issue with you and whatever. The conversation ended up great. It started off nasty, and then it ended great. All right, cool. So, fast forward, couple of weeks later and everything, some girl from Atlanta, she's me and Offset's friend. And she hit somebody up from my team, like, yo, there's this rumor going around that there's like a tape of Cardi, like a sex tape of Cardi. And I was like, me? Impossible, bitch. Impossible. There's none. I told him, like, it's like a sex tape of me. I'll pay somebody $1 million cash. I wouldn't even wire it. I'll cash it. Don't even send it to my phone. Don't send it to my phone. Put it on social media. Put it out. Cause I know me. Y'all know me. And everything. And she threw slugs at me at the song. And it's like, oh, that's what you wanted to do. Okay, now I see that's what you wanted to do. You wanted some type of beef with me. That's what you wanted. Okay. So I know that too. You got your 10,000 fucking streams. Congratulations. Good for you. I ignored it. Whatever. And I want to make this very clear. Before, like, what came out, I have never subbed this girl, never subbed her, never dissed her on a song, never played her. I don't know her like that. I never had an issue with her. So y'all could go up and down Twitter's, Instagram, never subbed her. Y'all could hear all my songs. I never subbed her, never this. I never had an issue with the bitch. So, like I said, fast forward, she threw slugs on me on a song and everything. And it's like, oh, this is what it was about. You wanted to start some type of beef with me type shit. I ignored it too.
Now, after Cardi B said that, Bia jumped back online and previewed a new diss track that she's working on where she's dissing Cardi. Check this out.
Can you come in here real quick? Can you make sure it's in the right place? It's in the right place? I could just fire off? Fuck it. Y'all ready? You want me to fire off? We're not gonna do too much talking in here.
My goodness, if I was Cardi B, I wouldn't even respond to this. Can somebody please tell Bia that in a post-Kendrick Lamar Drake rap beef world, this right here is no longer acceptable. You gotta up your game. I mean, take that verse, put it in an envelope, stick it in a mailbox, and return it to sender. I mean, a producer gives you a hot beat, and the best that you can do is, do I beef with you or do I beef with Party? You've been scrapping beats since 2019. Are you serious right now? And it's not even like I prefer Cardi B over Bia, but what I'm saying is, if you're gonna spark the beef and you're gonna make a diss track, make a diss track. Like, This is garbage. Listen, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Cardi B should even dignify Bia's diss track with a response? I mean, if I was Cardi B, I would simply go online and be like, listen, chick, I only get into the ring with heavyweights. Now, check this out. The other day, Dr. Umar and Nick Cannon were having a conversation, and Dr. Umar said that polygamy started in Africa because the women really wanted it. And he also said that most women, even though they front, are really for polygamy, and that's why you have so many single black females out here running around in these streets who are willing to deal with married men. Check this out.
African culture, Brother Nick, it was the women who created polygyny. It was the women who said the men are going to have more than one wife. And do you know why they did that? Because they came from a principle of Ubuntu. I am because we are. Yeah. I'm not winning unless my sister winning. Yeah. And since men die sooner than women on average, and of course they die because of war and other unnatural factors, we normally outlive by women. Right. We got to make sure the community is stable. And if we ain't got enough men to go around, the community won't be stable.
And it's also that idea of tribalism, right? To where the man, if there's a successful man in the tribe, he wants to be able to take care of as many of the people in his tribe as possible.
But from the matriarchal, it was the women who came to the men and said, "You're going to take on more.
Be your wife,
right? But you're going to take on more than me. Yeah. You're going to not because I want to share my man.
She needs you. She needs you, and she needs you
because the community needs it. Polygyny is not about personal preference. Right. It's about making sure all the children got a dad and all the women got a husband. Because you know, like I know, because Black America suffers from a shortage of black males. Cemetery, penitentiary, right? Yeah. So what do women do when they can't find a man of their own? I don't care how Christian they are, how Muslim they are, how Hebrew they are, they will share a married man. Yeah. And one of the contradictions that black women have to deal with, who claim that they are not for polygyny, if you are not for polygyny, why is it we can often find single black women being the mistress to a married black man? If you are against plural marriage, how did you manage to end up as his mistress and he's married? So do you know what you're telling me? You're not against polygyny. You're against being accountable for it. You don't want nobody to know you are a co-wife. You see that? As long as it stays under the cover. Dr. Umar. but we got to deal with these issues. And as far as monogamy goes, and I'm going to do more research on this, Brother Nick, but my research has shown me there has never been a monogamous society on the face of this earth, only on paper. Don't get me wrong. You've always had men with one wife, but you have always had men with more than one wife.
Now, after Dr. Umar said that, somebody came in the comment section and was like, every black woman in the comment section sharing a man. And then somebody else was like, he's not lying, but he's leaving out the part where women would also have more than one husband in a lot of ancient tribes, African tribes especially. And then somebody else came through and was like, y'all still listening to this ninja? To which somebody else added, ninjas just say anything to justify their BS. And then after that, somebody else came through and was like, y'all, don't listen to Dr. Umar. He took all your money and never built that school. You gotta know when folks are pimping from the pulpit, and his pulpit is podcast and YouTube. Yo, just like the person in the comment section said, what kills me about these dudes who always want to have these conversations about polygamy is that they never ever want to have conversations about the other half of the coin, which is that in some African, Asian, and Indian societies, there are also tribes that follow the practice of polyandry, which means that the wives can take on more than one husband. I mean, if we're going to have the conversation, let's have the whole conversation. Let's not just have the half of the conversation that is most pleasurable to men. For instance, according to Dr. Umar's own words, the decision to practice polygamy was decided in a matriarchal society, which means that the positions of dominance and authority in the society were primarily held by women, which included moral authority, social privilege, and control of property. So, since all of these men are so keen on adopting the polygamous part of African tradition, are they also willing to give up the patriarchy and return to the matriarchy, which was also part of African tradition as well? Let's get into it. And while we're getting into it, why don't we also discuss the fact that polygamy in Africa is now one of the leading causes of modern day poverty in Africa as well. As a matter of fact, Teresa Amandi Adatan, the executive director of the Federation of Women's Lawyers in Kenya, recently said, polygamy is the biggest contributor to poverty as most men who get into it cannot afford it, and it's the women and children who suffer most. Sometimes they're evicted after the new wife arrives and tensions arise. In other cases, the man has to divide his little resources further between all the families, and there's less money, less food, and less everything for everyone. Listen, all I'm saying is that if Nick Cannon and Dr. Umar really want to have this discussion about polygamy, let's have this discussion about polygamy. But let's discuss all the facts, and not just like 2, 3, 4, 5 random facts that Dr. Umar pulls out from like under his kente cloth kufi, like he's pulling a rabbit from a hat to make Nick Cannon feel good about having a multitude of kids with a multitude of different women. Listen, let me know what you think about Dr. Umar saying that black women really want to be in polygamous relationships, but they don't want to admit it. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Is Dr. Umar right? Now, check this out. The other day, one of Madonna's so-called fans named Justin LaPellis filed a lawsuit against Madonna after he attended her concert at the Kia Forum on March 7th. According to the court documents, Justin is suing the Material Girl because he says that when he went to Madonna's concert, he was subjected to unwanted exposure to sexual content. You know something? As soon as this dude walks into the courtroom, the judge needs to fine him $500 and kick him right out. I mean, what did you think you were gonna get at a Madonna concert? This chick's been doing the exact same thing since like 1981 when MTV first aired. I mean, come on, you're wasting the court's time. And this is why it's taking so long for us to get these Diddy cases in the courtroom. And speaking about court cases, former President Trump says he don't mind going to jail because he ain't begging nobody for his freedom. Check this out.
The judge could decide to say, hey, house arrest or even jail.
It could.
What that could.
I'm okay with it. I saw one of my lawyers the other day on television saying, oh, no, you don't want to do that to the president. I said, you don't beg for anything. You just, the way it is.
You know something? I don't rock with Trump, but I do rocks with that answer. I mean, that was hard. And that brings me to my question of the day. If Trump and Diddy get put in Rikers at the same time and they get placed in the same pod, who is going to rise up and be the pod boss? Trump or Diddy? Let me know what you think in the comments. And last but not least, Diddy's back in the news again. Yesterday, a whole bunch of Diddy's former employees came out and dropped dime on what it was like to work with Diddy in the office. And one of them said that one day Diddy came into the office and he was on a mad rampage. And he grabbed them up, smushed their face together with his hands, and was like, stick your tongue out. And when they stuck their tongue out like they were in a doctor's office saying, Diddy continued to smush their face with his hands and then proceeded to berate them in front of the whole entire office. You know something? You know what this story tells me? It tells me that P. Diddy was very good at finding people to hire that would put up with his cuffery. Because I'm trying to tell you right now, there's no boss that I ever had, nor will I ever have, that can roll up on me and put their hands physically on my face. Nor is there anybody who can roll up on me and tell me to stick out my tongue in front of my colleagues and I'm gonna do it. See, at that point, it's no longer like boss worker. We are two individuals and you are violating me at that point. So, no, it's not gonna happen. And I don't care how much money you have in a bank. Alright, so after this person shared this story, one person came in the comment section and was like, okay, but you let him do it. And then somebody else was like, he told you to stick your tongue out and you did it? Yeah, nah, more violence would have commenced. And then after that, somebody else was like, he must only hire people that can't beat him. Cause no. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Listen, let me know in the comments. If P. Diddy walked into the office and you were working there, and P. Diddy told you to hop up and down on one leg and bark like a dog, are you doing it? Are you gonna be in there like, and then when he's like, no, bark like a big dog, are you gonna be like, woof, 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 woof? Let me know in the comments. Listen, let me know what you think about the IRS cutting off Michael Jackson's kids from their inheritance because they say he owes $700 million. Bia and Cardi B going back and forth with the disses. Dr. Umar telling Nick Cannon that black women are really down with polygamy even though they won't admit it. Donald Trump saying that he doesn't have any problem going to jail. A fan suing Madonna because he says that she exposed him to sexual content at her concert. And Diddy smushing people's faces and making them stick their tongues out at work. Let me know what you think about all of that in the comments, and while you're down there leaving a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celebrity news. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.